couple more months of this, and hopefully things get turned around.
And I think that is a big deal, like just seeing any kind of light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, 2022 was such a terrible year for many, many people. I mean, we're sitting here with the privilege of talking about investing in cryptocurrency, but I mean, like for many other reasons, the last couple of years have been real crappy for people, and 2022 especially, really bad. I mean, people lost a lot of money in every walk of life, and
Yeah.
struggling with inflation and things like that. So yeah, I think people are genuinely just really excited to see something like this. If there is anybody out there who's really, full on moon boy status and believing that like new Bitcoin all-time high is even possible this year, I think you're probably very sorely mistaken. But to declare that we are in the start of the next bull market, if what your definition of a bull market is after we start moving up from the lows of the bear market, I don't think that's that far off to say. I mean, we're
Right.
not currently seeing, totally bullish, price action like the top of a bull market. I'm not indicating that at all. But the sentiment thing is interesting, Ewok, because you were just saying that you felt like you have seen some of that moon boy type action yeah, I've seen some positivity out there, especially today. I mean, today is totally different than the last month or so. I mean, like today, I
Sure.
think is going to maybe flip flop some people, get some people like Profit Blue and Capo on Twitter to, I don't know if they'll ever reverse course or admit,
Mhm.
wrong. Not that it is over and done with yet. But you and I, so we both watch some traders on YouTube. We both talk about Crypto Kirby. Funny guy. We both definitely enjoy his stuff. Highly respect him as a trader. Neither of us obviously are day traders or anything like that. But we really like to watch what he talks about. He generally calls it down the middle, is interested in trading Bitcoin. And he has been very, I don't want to call him bearish. He looks at the charts, and
Yep.
he pays attention to macro, and he's a smart guy. And I've been pretty much in lockstep thinking all of his thinking has made sense throughout this bear market for the last few months. But and I don't know if this is just something that he says to grab people's attention, but he keeps talking about like all the moon boys, and all the moon boys are calling for a brand new bull run, and the moon boys, and you're going to get stuck and everything like this. And I am just not seeing that. Like I don't know if he's just saying it, but I'm not seeing on a lot of these big channels like the altcoin dailies and crypto banter and stuff like that. People are still they're all just interviewing Gareth Soloway and he's predicting 12K still. You know what I mean? Like that's really all I'm seeing is just like, be careful, there will be blood. Like that's all I'm seeing. I mean, it's probably clickbait also, but I'm not seeing Bitcoin to 100K. I'm not seeing that anywhere.
Mm.
And I want to be pointed in the direction of who's doing it, but yeah, I guess you're seeing some of it, Ewok. So what are you seeing, or where are you seeing this stuff? Because I'm not. I'm still seeing a bearish bias, really, for the most part.
Mostly on Twitter. I'm seeing a lot of people saying that they're placing longs because they think it's over. And again, one of the things that Richard says, and it's so true, is in order to appreciate some of the massive gains that you get in crypto, volatility is the price that you pay. And unfortunately, people jump the gun in a lot of these situations, which can cause a lot of cascading events. If there is a pullback and people start to get liquidated, and there's a lot of money, having to meet those settlements on their longs, it can go down pretty quick. And especially if some bigger players get into that mix where they're trying to get out as well on top of it, we could see another definitely another downside. And you're right, Kirby has been very middle of the road, but he agrees that he doesn't think it's here yet either. I think is what his sentiment is that he's not sold on the bull market being here. I think you need, what is it, 2 monthly green candles to kind of confirm that trend anyway. And we don't have it yet anyway. It's been this might be the first and I don't think January is even green yet either. So I don't know that we've had one overall. I'll take a look here and see, but
Yeah, I believe January ended green last night. Yeah, I think it's in the books now. So, we had a lot of pump at the end of January. So, yeah, it might be a challenge here in February to see that. But I do think you're right that generally back-to-back monthly green candles would indicate the trend reversal. And, I'm not hating on Crypto Kirby either. I mean, I totally think he would reverse course would he see the evidence.
right.
I'm just flat out not really seeing a lot of Moon Boy action. As a matter of fact, I think if we would have lost these levels today and dipped to even 20K or 19K, people would have been losing their minds. I mean, I
Oh,
think
of course.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody. I think everybody would be like, "Oh yeah, new lows are coming. This is it. This is the final pullback." I mean, so that's my thing. And I'm not saying either. I'm not even projecting who's going to be right. I personally, from what I'm observing across YouTube, Twitter, everything I'm looking at, there seems to be more bearishness. I see it in polling. I
Still,
see it in,
are you still seeing
well,
more?
literally today is a little bit
Okay.
different. I
Okay.
haven't really, been all over the place today. I wanted to let today kind of settle in also, but leading up to today, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It has been primarily bearish, narrowing, I think maybe more to like a 60-40 range. But yeah,
Okay.
I've still been seeing people do that. And I think the reason is because we've been in this pattern for so long and people just
Yeah.
cannot remember. It's just like people, and we've talked about this too. How many participants in this market have only been in it since the fall of 2021? I mean,
Right.
many, many, many
A
have.
lot.
So,
Most. Yeah.
right. So,
Yeah.
of
There aren't many that
course,
are back for this new cycle, and I think a good bull market will almost make you forget what the bear market was really like.
same thing. Right.
It's that short-term memory of, oh my God, now it's going up and it's going to go up forever. And you kind of forget that, hey, we're in a cycle. There will be a
Right.
top. And you have all those signs and you just forget about them. I did.
Yeah.
I got overly ecstatic on the last bull run because of the numbers on my portfolio were just growing incredibly, not realizing, hey, it's going to come to an end here, and sure enough, it's down to where it was before you blink and it's over and it's done, and then
Right.
it
Right.
drags on forever. So that's why I once it starts to happen, you do remember the last bear market, or I do anyway, and how long and drawn out it really did feel. So
Hmm.
that's
Right.
why I still remain that bear who's not quite out of the woods yet.
Yeah, and I totally get it. And I think even with you feeling that way, it's not like you're saying that we've got another year of this or something
No, no,
like
no,
that.
no,
I
no,
mean, yeah.
no. I don't think that at all. I think we still have a couple months though.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've seen people say that. I've seen people call March and stuff like that. And just because we're seeing this today, I mean, to me, this isn't. I don't know how much I would really take this as a confirmation that it's definitively over now. I mean, it's certainly good. I don't see any way that you could argue much other than that. But yeah, I feel like the lows are in. I do also think that we, could lose some of this price action, certainly, which isn't saying a lot because we pumped so hard today. So, um, but I do know where you're coming from, Ewok, and I agree with what you're saying. Is that people? I guess like what I'm saying is like you just mentioned with the previous like a bull market. I'm thinking right now with a bear that people kind of have that bias and they're just forgetting what it's like when things go the other way. And when I'm hearing things right now, notice how you've heard this stuff kind of gone out the window. I'm not even hearing about like grayscale anymore. I'm not even really hearing about I mean, Mount Gox isn't close anyway, really. But
Not yet.
I'm not. I'm,
No.
I'm not really hearing like some of these narratives that people were like, "Oh yeah, the Barry's what's his name, Silbert."
Silbert.
Yeah, like I'm not even hearing that stuff now. I'm not even hearing the Genesis stuff now, or like, "Oh, wait till this happens" and everything. It's like it's just gone out the window because it's like, well, people decided they want to start buying again, and we don't care about this stuff. Like it
Yeah, and
seems like that's what happened.
it's unfortunate because I think it still could play out with some other things. People need to not forget about it, and the second you forget about it, it kind of creeps back in, and it will tap you on the back and say, "Hey, I'm still here."
The
You know,
Grim Reaper.
there's still SBF stuff happening. You know, occasionally I see some shady stuff happening in the background where, you know, this kid still has access to all these. I don't understand how he's got access to all these wallets. You know, he should have had his internet and computers and everything taken away from him, but unfortunately, that's not the case. So there's still a lot of things happening behind the scenes that we aren't privy to, probably, that could still play out as well, and hopefully shake things out just a lot quicker. I want to get it done with. I agree with you. I've had enough, but you know,
Right.
the sooner the better, and hopefully some of these things can play out and we can move on.
Well, my question is like, I feel like it's a chicken and egg thing because, like, you're saying, you know, hey, don't forget these other things are out here and they could come up and tap you on the shoulder eventually. But what if the market's like, I don't care about that stuff anymore and everybody is just buying, you know, like
Well,
prior to that happening? It's just, I feel like there's reason to believe that too.
it could be. You know, we could, and if there's enough economic energy going into the market, it could supersede that. We don't know what the timing will be, and how it will all play out. You know, I wish we
Yeah.
had a crystal ball to be able to say, yeah, just wait till March 15th or something like that. You know, but
Right.
we don't, unfortunately.
Well, you know, disagreements like this though are is what makes markets. You know, that's what makes
Yeah,
markets interesting, and people being on opposite sides is what make prices go up and prices go down. So it's kind of part of the beautiful thing we have here, and we'll just have to see. You know, we both are, regardless, I know, welcoming positive price action, positive narratives. You know, good things
yeah,
happening in crypto. I was just telling you, I've been fortunate enough to get some profits out of some nice phantom buys
mhm,
here recently at the bottom. So, you know, this is not saying that Ewok is wrong about the bottom or anything like that, but should he be, and you know, we aren't going back down to those levels again, and you're upset that you didn't buy more, let that be a lesson to you too. That doesn't mean, I'm not telling anybody they should have found out how to totally time the bottom or anything, but if you haven't been
right,
DCAing for the better part of the last, at least, at the very least, 2 months. I mean, you know, if you haven't been since November, ideally even before that, probably since like summerish, um, what are you doing? You know, I mean,
right,
it's not going to last forever anyway, but you know, it is what it is. So you only
right.
learn from experience. So
Absolutely.
um, yeah.